Karen Hoa's sneer could curdle milk. She stood like a peacock in a parking lot, her rhinestone-encrusted sunglasses reflecting the dying sun as she berated the world for daring to exist near her Rolls-Royce. The car, a gleaming phantom, was her pride, her throne, her proof she was better than everyone else on this cracked asphalt street in downtown San Jose. But today, that throne was wobbling, and Karen was about to topple. It started with a ticket, a flimsy piece of paper slapped under her windshield wiper by a parking enforcement officer named Miguel, who was just doing his job. Karen, all 300 pounds of her squeezed into a too-tight leopard print dress, had parked her Rolls-Royce across two handicapped spaces because, in her words, this car deserves room to breathe. Miguel, a wiry man with tired eyes and a no-nonsense clipboard, wasn't impressed. He'd seen Karen's before, but this one was a Category 5 storm. "You can't park like this, ma'am," Miguel said, his voice calm but firm, the kind of tone you use to talk someone off a ledge. "This is a handicapped zone. You're blocking access." Karen's laugh was a hyena's cackle, sharp and mocking. "Handicapped? Please. My car's worth more than your house, clipboard boy. You think I'm moving it for some lazy nobody who can't walk a block?" She flicked her manicured nails at him, dismissing his existence. The small crowd gathering two locals, a woman named Lynn and a man named Jamal, exchanged looks of disgust. Lynn clutched her grocery bag tighter, her knuckles whitening. Jamal, a delivery driver who'd parked his beat-up van nearby, muttered, "This lady's begging for karma." The mouth-worn chin was simple but explosive. Karen believed her wealth and her Rolls-Royce put her above the law, while Miguel and the gathering crowd saw her entitlement as a slap in the face to fairness. The air crackled with tension, like the moment before a thunderstorm breaks. Karen didn't stop at insulting Miguel. She turned her venom on the bystanders, her voice rising to a screech. "What are you all staring at? Jealous of my car? Go back to your sad little lives." She gestured at Lynn, a single mom who worked double shifts at a nail salon. "You, with your cheap plastic bags, bet you've never even touched a Rolls-Royce." Then she pointed at Jamal, whose van bore the scars of years on the road. "And you, delivery boy, don't even think about breathing near my paint job." Lynn's face flushed, but she bit her tongue, knowing a fight with Karen would only waste her energy. Jamal, though, wasn't as restrained. "Lady, your car's nice, but your attitude's trash. You're parked like a jerk, and you're proud of it." Karen's eyes narrowed to slits. "You don't get to talk to me like that. Do you know who I am? I'm Karen Hoa, CEO of Hoa Sisters Boutique. My Instagram has 50,000 followers." She pulled out her phone, live streaming the confrontation like it was her personal reality show. "Look at these peasants trying to ruin my day," she crowed to her audience, panning the camera over Miguel, Lynn, and Jamal. Miguel, unfazed, finished writing the ticket. "Ma'am, you're getting a citation for illegal parking. You can contest it in court if you want, but you need to move your vehicle now." Karen's face turned beet red, her jowls quivering. "Court? You think I'm scared of your little ticket? I'll have your job by tomorrow." She ripped the ticket off the windshield, tore it in half, and threw the pieces at Miguel's feet. The crowd gasped. Lynn whispered to Jamal, "Did she just?" "She did," Jamal replied, shaking his head. "Big mistake." Miguel's calm cracked just a fraction, his jaw tightening. "Ma'am, destroying a citation is a misdemeanor. I'm going to need you to stay right here." He radioed for backup, his voice steady but laced with the kind of authority that said he wasn't playing games anymore. Karen, oblivious to the hole she was digging, kept ranting. "This is harassment. This is because I'm successful, isn't it? You people hate seeing a strong woman with a nice car." Her live stream was blowing up with comments, some egging her on, others calling her out. One viewer typed, "Karen, you're parked in a handicapped spot. You're the problem." She ignored it, too caught up in her own narrative of victimhood. The crowd grew to four now, with a teenage girl named Aisha joining, filming the scene on her phone. Aisha, who used a wheelchair, had been waiting for a handicapped spot to open up so her mom could park. She rolled closer, her voice quiet but cutting. "That's my spot you're taking. I needed to get to my doctor's appointment." You think your car's more important than that? Karen whirled on Aisha, her face a mask of scorn. Oh, great. Now it's the kid in the chair. What's next? A sob story? Save it, sweetheart. The world doesn't revolve around you. The crowd's murmurs turned to outright boos. Lynn stepped forward, unable to stay silent anymore. You're unbelievable. You're hurting people and acting like you're the victim. Karen's live stream caught every word, broadcasting her cruelty to thousands. Her followers were turning on her, the comment section a flood of "Wow, you're awful, and this is why people hate Karens." But Karen was too deep in her rage to notice. She jabbed a finger at Miguel. You're done, clipboard boy. I'm calling my lawyer right now. Before she could dial, 2 police officers arrived, their cruiser pulling up with a flash of lights. Officer Chun, a no-nonsense woman with a sharp gaze, stepped out first. What's going on here? She asked, eyeing the torn ticket on the ground. Miguel explained, his voice even but firm. This woman parked illegally, insulted everyone, and destroyed the citation I issued. I've got witnesses. He gestured to Lynn, Jamal, and Aisha, who nodded in agreement. Karen tried to spin her story, her voice syrupy with fake tears. Officers, this man's harassing me because I'm a successful businesswoman. He's jealous of my Rolls-Royce. I didn't do anything wrong. Officer Chen raised an eyebrow, unimpressed. Ma'am, I can see the handicapped signs from here. And you tore up a legal citation. That's destruction of property and obstruction. She glanced at the crowd. Anyone want to corroborate? Lynn spoke up, her voice steady despite her nerves. She insulted us, took up handicapped spaces, and acted like she's above the law. Jamal added, she's been screaming at everyone, saying her car's more important than people's needs. Aisha, her hands trembling but her voice clear, said, I couldn't get to my appointment because of her. Karen's face paled as the officers exchanged a look. Her live stream was still running, now a public record of her meltdown. Officer Chen stepped closer. Ma'am, turn off the phone and put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest for destruction of property and disorderly conduct. The crowd erupted in cheers as Karen's jaw dropped. Arrest? For a parking ticket? This is outrageous. She flailed as Officer Chen cuffed her, her rhinestone sunglasses falling to the pavement. The second officer, a burly man named Rodriguez, secured the Rolls-Royce for impound. Fancy car, he said dryly, but it's not above the law. As Karen was led to the cruiser, still shouting about her lawyer and her followers, the crowd felt a collective release. Lynn hugged Aisha, promising to help her get to her appointment. Jamal gave Miguel a nod of respect. Good job, man. You stayed cool. Miguel shrugged, picking up the torn ticket pieces. Just doing my job. People like her think money buys them a free pass. Not today. Aisha's mom arrived, parking in the now-cleared handicapped spot. She thanked the crowd, her eyes misty. You all stood up for my daughter. That means everything. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over the street. Karen's Rolls-Royce was towed away, its gleam dulled by the impound truck's chains. Her live stream had ended abruptly when her phone was confiscated, but the internet was already ablaze with clips of her downfall. Hoa Karen trended for all the wrong reasons. Her boutique's Yelp page flooded with one-star reviews. In the end, Karen's entitlement was her undoing. She'd thought her wealth and status made her untouchable, but the law and the people she'd scorned proved otherwise. Lynn, Jamal, Aisha, and Miguel went back to their lives, their small victory a reminder that justice, however fleeting, could cut through even the thickest arrogance. Karen, meanwhile, sat in a holding cell, her empire of self-importance crumbling with every passing minute. The end.